Object-oriented design and programming. Virtual function in C++. Virtual function is a function in base class which is overridden in the derived class and which tells the compiler to perform late bind on this function. Virtual keyword is used to make the member function of the base class virtual. Virtual functions allow the most specific version of the member function in an inheritance hierarchy to be selected for execution. Here, the virtual functions and the virtual keyword allow you to achieve polymorphism in object-oriented programming, where the most specific version of the function is selected for execution based on the actual type of the object at runtime, enabling flexibility and extensibility in your code. This is the syntax we have, like virtual keyword will be given in the function name. So virtual, this is the one function name void show, and this show will be having some functionalities inside. So this is one example for virtual function. We have two classes defined, base and derived. So the base class has two member functions, print and show. Okay, so the derived class is derived from the base class and it has two member functions. Here print, which overrides the print function of the base class. So see here, this is the derived class. Derived class is derived from the base class base, and here we have the function name as print, and here base class also we have the function name as print. So two function names are same. Okay, also we have another one function name as show, and here also show. So according to this program, we have print, which overrides the print function of the base class. Show also overrides the show function of the base class. In the main function, we create the pointer of the we create a pointer bptr of type base. We create an object d of type derived. We assign the address of the d object to the bptr pointer. Here, this is the thing. So we call the print function using the bptr pointer. Since the print function is declared as virtual in the base class and overridden in the derived class. So this is the print function, what we have written inside the base class is overridden in the derived class. So this is determined at runtime, which is why it's called the late binding. So it's called as the late binding. We call the show function using the bptr. So same bptr used to call the show function also. Okay. We since the show function is not declared as virtual, so here we didn't mention this show function as the virtual. Okay, the version of the show from the base class is called. So this is determined at compile time, which is why it's called a yearly binding. So according to this, we didn't give the virtual concept here, so we don't call this as the late binding. So this is called as this bptr show called as the yearly binding, and bptr print is called as the late binding. So according to this print, we get the answer as print derived class. So this will be, because of the late binding, print derived class will be executed. At the same time, bptr show is the yearly binding, so it will be executing the base class function. Finally, the program terminates with a return value of 0. In summary, this code demonstrates the difference between virtual and non-virtual functions. So here this is the virtual and this is the non-virtual functions. Virtual functions allow for dynamic dispatch where the function to be called is determined at runtime based on the actual type of the object, while non-virtual functions are resolved at compile time. So in this program we can see this is a base class and derived class. In base class we have one function name as void show, and the derived class we have the function name as void show. So same like we are creating a base class pointer and derived D is nothing but the derived class object. So now the address is moved to the derived class object. Now we are calling the function nothing but show. So show here, what the thing is, we didn't give the virtual concept here in the base class. So it's a early binding. So, so what output will receive, either the base class or the derived class will receive the output as the base class, because we didn't have the concept of virtual here. At the same time, this program having the concept of virtual. So in the base class, I had given the virtual function as void show. So now this will going to act as a late binding. Okay, so same like I'm creating the base pointer and derived class object is there, using the address of the pointer. I'm going to call the function name as show. So this show will be having the virtual function, so it will be called as the late binding concept. So we are in the concept of like show, derived class function data will be get displayed. So derived class is the output. Okay. Now we can see what is meant by function overriding. So it is the redefinition of base class function in its derived class with same signature, that is return type and parameters. So the function signatures are the same but the behavior will be different. So what will be the advantages of function overriding? So function overriding helps to improve the readability of the code. Overriding function saves the memory, increase the consistency of the code, and enhance the code reusability. A function with the same name can be used to perform different operations and hence make the code clean. Okay, so in this program, in this concept, so we have the base class or BI, and this having the function name as insurance funding. At the same time, we have four subclasses: SBI, HDFC, PNB, and ICICI. So each child class having the function name as insurance, also its own function name as car loan, personal loan, home loan, education loan. So according to these five classes, we can come to know insurance is common for all the classes. Okay, so here including the parameters and data type, everything is same. So we call this as the overriding function. So what will be the difference of function overloading and overriding? It falls under compile time polymorphism, and this will be called as the runtime polymorphism. So it can executed without inheritance, but function overriding can be executed with inheritance. So they are in the same scope. They are of different scopes. A function can be overloaded multiple times as it is resolved at compile time, but here it cannot be overridden multiple times as it is resolved at runtime.